Right everyone, welcome back. Now CallMeCarson. Now CallMeCarson is somebody that I've talked about before on this channel because back in February there was a situation that went down about him. And in this situation involves some very, very bad information against CallMeCarson. And if you want to know more about that, I have a whole separate video that I made on it. It's demonetized now because obviously you can tell that some of the stuff in that video was obviously not very advertiser friendly. But yeah, if you guys want to see the whole backstory, you guys can check out that video. But to basically sum it all up, CallMeCarson messed up really bad to the point where he basically had to ghost from the internet entirely and did not post on literally anything. I mean, this guy was literally on ghost mode from the internet from the 1st of January up until this point where we are today. And what's the date today? It's like, what? May the 20th? This guy's been on ghost mode for almost 6 months at this point. Like, I'm talking this guy literally left the internet and has not come back since. He hasn't posted anything on Twitter. He hasn't posted anything on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or Twitch or really anything, to be honest with you. He's basically just left the internet because the allegations against him have been so bad to the point where he basically just couldn't come back. And it makes sense. I mean, if he literally tried to put one word into any sort of situation or say one word on the internet, like, people hated him that much that he would literally just get absolutely dumped on. And the thing is with this situation, right, I explained it again more in that video I made a few months ago, but basically when CallMeCarson got called out, he went into like extreme hibernation. Like, I'm pretty sure his anxiety went through the roof as soon as all this stuff came out against him. Because my take on this situation, to be completely honest with you, is that he shouldn't have been cancelled as hard as he was. Like, obviously, yes, he did mess up and he did do something completely wrong, but at the end of the day, like, he's a human being. And what he did was not as bad as someone like EDP445 or someone like Minilad or Kiwis or something like that. Like, yes, again, what this guy did was very bad and I do not agree with what he did, but the fact that you guys you guys cancelled him that much is just absolutely insane to me. Like, this guy got absolutely dumped on like it was the end of the world. He lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers on his YouTube channel. He lost like literally hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. He lost so much stuff in the process of doing all this. But then surprisingly, right, so out of the blue, literally nowhere, like it wasn't announced or anything, what basically happened was that CallMeCarson came back to Instagram out of all platforms. I'm pretty sure that was a good idea for CallMeCarson because basically what I think he's trying to do right now is, as Jaden mentioned in his video about this situation, is that he's basically trying to test the waters right now just to see what works. So if he did make like a grand reveal or like a grand comeback to the internet, like he basically is trying to see how people would react, and Instagram's probably the most like the least heated platform that he has right now. Not many people on Instagram really know about the whole situation because nothing really happened on there. I think YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch are probably the places where he wouldn't want to come back to immediately first. But what he did was that he posted an Instagram video, and it was very, very casual. Like, it was just like a 20-second clip of his cat or something like that. It was very weird in my opinion, and something that was definitely a little bit more subtle, but it's just sort of weird that was his literally like his first thing that he comes back to after 5 or 6 months of hibernation and just basically not doing anything on the internet. Now, after this Instagram video came out, basically what happened was that obviously people were talking about it, right? Because, you know, this guy who got absolutely cancelled back in February has just come back in May after not doing anything for literally like 4 or 5 months. Obviously, people are going to talk about it, right? And the thing is, right, is that people for some reason went after CallMeCarson's close friends and started asking them for like information or something, even though it literally has nothing to do with them, so I don't really understand why people are asking them. But anyway, there's this guy called Connor Eats Pugs, right? He was basically like, I guess you could say a former friend of CallMeCarson, because obviously after CallMeCarson got absolutely exposed for this, a lot of his friends didn't really support him anymore and basically just left him completely, which is completely understandable. Like, I do understand why some people would do that, but at the end of the day, right, like what CallMeCarson did not deserve what he got. Obviously he deserves to be called out on his stuff, right? Like, I definitely do think that he deserved to be called out on that, because what he did obviously was completely messed up. But again, like, the fact that people went so harsh on him for something that obviously was not as bad as people are making it out to be is definitely something that I do not agree with at all. It is just something that is just completely ridiculous. Like, the people that are doing this on Twitter, right, like you guys might think that you're doing something good, but in actual fact, all you're doing is hurting this situation more. You're not bringing justice to anyone. You're not helping anyone. All you're doing is just making the situation worse. But anyway, Connor Eat Pugs, like I just said before, was basically a former friend of CallMeCarson, and he basically talked about the situation on stream because a lot of people were asking in his chat and basically basically tweeting at him about it, to the point where he basically just had to address it. So basically here's that.
Accidental story post on Instagram. I don't know if it was accidental. You guys gotta understand that, like, Carson was a friend of mine, and like he fucked up and he really upset me, and it definitely hurt me as a friend, but like I want him to be well, and I want him to like be happy, you know? Like I hate how people are like think otherwise. Like, I'm not that kind of person, bro. You know if he's doing okay? I think so. I think he's doing okay. Boom. He seemed really happy with his cat that he got. He is. I do know that he is getting therapy, man. I do know that. So he's definitely getting help. Yeah, I've been in contact. Not too much, but I do know that he's in therapy.
Now, after Connor E. Pugs basically made this statement, a lot of people basically went onto Twitter, because what eventually happened is that CallMeCarson actually returned to Twitter. Which I just gotta say, CallMeCarson, I know you're probably not watching this video, but if you are, that is probably the worst decision you could have possibly done. Returning to Twitter and just returning to the internet in general at this point is probably one of the worst things you could do, because people are gonna forget about this, right? Like, I get a lot of people say that in the internet, right? Like, you do something, you mess up, and then a week later you come back, and everyone literally just forgets about what you did, because for some reason people are just so forgiving and forgetful, and it's not even really forgiving, it's just people forget, really. I mean, hell, people like Jake Paul still exist on the platform. That's basically enough to show you that people just forget about stuff so easily. But with stuff like the fact that CallMeCarson was doing all this stuff back in February, and obviously I can't really say it in this video because I don't want to get demonetized, but you guys can watch that video I made like 4 or 5 months ago to get a bit of backstory. But if you're doing stuff similar to EDP and similar to I guess Mini Lad, obviously it wasn't on the same scale, but basically CallMeCarson did mess up on a very, very touchy subject. So returning to the internet in general, and especially Twitter, was probably the absolute worst decision that he could have made. But basically here's what happened. So CallMeCarson tweeted out randomly on like the 17th of May. He basically tweeted out he was basically quoting some tweet about presidency or the US. I don't know. I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. But then he later said, accidental tweet, carry on. And if you go into CallMeCarson's Twitter right now, the last thing that he posted, as it would seem, is basically the thing that he posted back in January before he completely left the internet. So all of these tweets that he were tweeting basically just they got completely wiped, and for a very good reason, and I'm going to explain that in a minute to you. Basically what happened was that CallMeCarson, obviously after leaving the internet for like 5 months, he actually went on trending. He ended up getting 12,000 tweets an hour. It was absolutely insane. Carson was trending in the United States for a very good reason. And obviously, right, people on Twitter, like obviously since Twitter is the main reason that CallMeCarson left the internet, because they were obviously the most brutal. I mean, Twitter is probably the worst place to go if you're getting cancelled at the moment. I mean, that is just generally the worst place to go. Obviously, Twitter was not very happy with CallMeCarson's return, which, to be completely honest with you, right, like I get Carson messed up. Like I completely understand that, and I get that he hasn't addressed the situation. Like, I genuinely think that he should do that. But the fact that you guys are still going after him like it matters at all, like, of course it does matter to some extent, but the fact that you guys are still going after him after what, 5 months? Like, I'm pretty sure he's learned his lesson now. I mean, from the video that I showed you guys before from Connor Eats Pants, basically, yeah, like, CallMeCarson was going to therapy, so I don't really understand why you guys was saying that. By the way, right, I'm sorry for calling Connor Eats Pants Connor Eats Pugs. That was a mistake on my part, oopsies. But yeah, basically CallMeCarson was getting called out by a lot of people, and they basically said this. Nah, because if Carson can DM people asking to stop playing his videos on streams, post on his Instagram stories, and accidentally tweet out, I'm pretty sure he can make a statement and own up to his actions. But he won't, because he's yeah, I'm not gonna say that word, and he's only sorry that he got caught. Now, I'm not gonna lie here, right? I do agree to that to some extent. Like, I do agree that Carson should probably respond to this situation if he's gonna come back to the internet. I mean, to my knowledge, he didn't respond to this back when this was all heating up. I'm pretty sure he just waited for it to die down, and now he's planning to return to the internet without making a response, which is definitely not the best way to go about it. But I do think that CallMeCarson isn't just sorry because he got caught. Like, that is just completely ridiculous. He obviously realizes that he messed up, and what more can you ask from him if he does apologize? I'm pretty sure even if CallMeCarson does apologize, Twitter are just gonna be like, oh nope, he's only sorry because he got caught, you know, just the classic sort of thing. And it's like, at that point, right, if CallMeCarson apologizes, like, what more can you ask for? Like, genuinely. CallMeCarson really came back and said, S, I forgot everyone still hates me for being that word. Instead of taking accountability and addressing that's long overdue, I'll simply delete my tweet and leave. Now, this is why I hate Twitter, right? It's because people are literally classifying this guy as a groomer, which is just not true in any way. I get what he did was wrong. I truly do get that, but he's not a groomer. Where are people pulling that from? I don't understand Twitter. Like, genuinely, it's just one of the worst places and the most toxic places on the internet, especially if you're getting cancelled. Please, any influencers out there that are watching this, please, if you're getting cancelled, do not go into Twitter. That is the worst place to go. CallMeCarson trying to test the waters. How about we don't let him come back? Okay, yeah, cool, buddy. I bet you seem really cool that you're not letting someone who literally didn't even mess up that bad to not come back to the internet. You are so cool. Guys, I have a crazy idea. What if we report Carson's Twitter account so he has no more accidental tweets? We would be helping him out. Come on, guys. Yeah, that is so absolutely hilarious. And the fact that 1.7 thousand people literally decided to like your tweet is probably even sadder. How do people still agree with this sort of stuff of like, oh yeah, how about we just spam report someone's Twitter account because we don't agree with what they did? Spam reporting anyone's account in general is just a terrible idea unless they've done something extremely messed up. I'm not talking CallMeCarson level messed up because obviously what he did was wrong, but it was nowhere near on the level of someone like Minilad or EDP445 who definitely deserved to have their accounts taken down. And that's why EDP got taken down because what he did was completely messed up, and CallMeCarson obviously doesn't have his accounts taken down because what he did wasn't that messed up. And the sooner you guys realize that, the better this is gonna go, because people on Twitter just genuinely want blood for some reason, and I don't know why. At least Carson's okay. I hope his victims are okay. Okay, cool there, buddy. People who defend CallMeCarson are effing weirdos. Freedom of speech is cool, but shut the F up. Yeah, funny meme, mate. That is hilarious. Yeah, it's clear that Carson is just here to F with people. Wouldn't be the first time since he tried to F with some kids though. Yeah, sure, buddy. 1.1 thousand likes. Who is liking these tweets? What is going on? Carson effed up so much S for so many people. Caterino, Fitz, Sam, and whatever that word is. Yet people on TikTok still wished him a happy birthday. He manipulates people. He's not a good person. Please shut the F up. I do not agree with in any way, shape, or form that Carson manipulates people. That is just not someone who he seems to be on the internet, and is not someone who's been called out to be. He's been called out as someone who's made a dumb mistake that wasn't even really that bad in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions. I think the only people who think otherwise are just people on Twitter who just for some reason need to find a reason to cancel someone because they have literally nothing better to do in their lives. And basically after this, there was this guy called Too Mad who a lot of you should know about by now. He's basically defending CallMeCarson, and rightfully so. He deserves to be defended. He definitely did not deserve most of this. Post immediately P-boy at CallMeCarson. The boy did nothing wrong and now y'all scared him off the internet. Y'all's devious. Hashtag Carson was the victim. I'm serious. Men should not have had his career ended. I will die on this hill. And Too Mad basically said yep. Carson ain't done nothing wrong and y'all ruined his career and reputation. F y'all. Hashtag Carson was the victim. Hashtag Carson was the victim is a strange tag. Carson was not the victim, and in the case of grooming, he's not that word. It was a celebrity manipulating his power. However, Carson is completely in the right for not apologizing immediately, taking a break, and seeking help. And you know what? I genuinely could not agree with this tweet more. Like, yes, Carson definitely did mess up on a very, very, like, not great scale, but the fact that he's been completely cancelled for it is genuinely something I don't agree with. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video at any point, please make sure you subscribe. We're getting really close to 200,000 subscribers. Let me know your thoughts on this situation, because I genuinely want to know. Anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching the video. Really hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.